Hello students, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today we will continue with 12th Commerce OCM chapter number 5 staffing, and we'll continue with the topic process of staffing. Before continuing with the process of staffing topic, let's go to the recap. In the earlier four part of this video, we studied about staffing, characteristics of staffing, importance of staffing. Then we have studied about staffing as a part of human resource management. In that we have covered two topics: manpower planning and compensation and development of staff. And in the last video we have studied about recruitment, process of recruitment and sources, internal sources of recruitment and external sources of recruitment. Today we will be learning about the second part of process of staffing, that is selection. Okay, now let us see what is selection. Selection, it means checking the application received and appointing the suitable candidate. The easiest definition of selection says selection means checking the application received to the organization about the vacancy or about that vacant spot and appointing the suitable candidate as per the job description or as per the vacancy. Okay, but selection process varies on the basis of size of organization, type of organization, kind of employees required. For an example, if we need a employee for top level of, we all know there are three levels of management. If we require an employee for top level of management, then the selection process will be a bit lengthy and bit complex because we need a proper and perfect expertise for that. But if we need a individual for bottom level of management, then it will be quicker and easier. Okay, so selection means checking the application received and appointing the suitable employees, and selection process varies on the basis of size, type, employees required, kind of employees required, and so on. Okay, so it is very necessary to select right person for right job, as selection is very important, and again selecting a proper employee is an invaluable asset to the organization. Okay, now the general layout for selection process is a 9-step process. Again, I will say whenever we talk about the word process, don't forget the sequence. We have to write everything in sequence. Although the sequence of or the process of selection is very much easy because we know it in the day-to-day businesses, so we will be able to remember this. But don't skip any point. You have to write step by step. Okay. Now talking about the first step of selection process of planning, the first step is welcoming and primary meeting. First step is welcoming and primary meeting, means welcoming the candidates, welcoming the we can say the candidates to the organization, and primary meeting means knowing about their names and basic information. That is the first step. Receptionist, the work means the one-to-one instruction with the receptionist or the first point of the organization. That is welcoming and primary meeting. Second step is receiving and screening the application. Second step is receiving the applications from the candidates and screening. Screening means checking that the application is as per the required post or the whatever the degrees they are having. Is that suitable for that post, or is the candidate suitable for the post? This is known as primary screening. First hand screening. Next is taking necessary steps, taking necessary tests. Now taking necessary test means there are majorly 4 type of tests. Understand these tests carefully. These are asked individually also in the form of MCQs, in the form of 1 mark or 2 mark also. Now there are major 4 kind of tests. First one is IQ test. IQ test is done for common sense, smartness, memory, thinking capacity, and so on. IQ test is done for common sense, knowing the common sense, smartness, memory, thinking capacity, decision taking power, and so on of the candidate. Next test is aptitude test. Aptitude test is done for knowing that the particular candidate is having interest or not for the job he came for the interview, for the post. So interested or not. For example, I have been coming for an interview for the post of accountancy teacher. So I would be interested in teaching accountancy. It is not that I don't have any interest in teaching accountancy. I came here for any other purposes. Okay. So aptitude test is taken to check that whether the candidate which is selected is interested or not for that specific work. Okay. Then trade test is done to check necessary skills. For example, if I came for the job of teacher, then trade test will be done to check that whether I am able to teach or not, whether for the post which I have applied I am capable or not, I have the necessary skill for the job or not. Okay. And then last one is psychological test. Psychological test is done for knowing the nature of the candidate, confidence, we can say attitude, habits, all of these and so on. Okay, so these are the 4 type of tests which can be taken by any organizations for the candidate. After taking test, 4th one is personal interviews. Personal interviews mean one-to-one interviews with the HR committee or with the selection committee. Okay. Then after passing the interview comes the checking reference. Checking reference means that the information provided by the candidate is true or not. Cross-checking the information, and if the candidate is by someone's reference, he or she has came by someone's reference, then checking out that they have provided the reference or not, and that reference is feasible or good for the organization or not. So 5th one is checking references. Checking references means cross-checking the information provided as well as the reference provided. Next is preliminary selection. Preliminary selection means after the end of 5th step, the selection committee or the organization has came to an motive that these are our we can say these are our shortlisted candidates. Out of 10, if we want one, but 3 or 4 or 5 candidates are that any one of those 5 is perfect for the job, can be opted for the job. So that means preliminary selection means shortlisting the candidate. After preliminary, there comes in physical examination. Physical examination means medical of the candidate. Physical examination means medical examination of the candidate, and after the candidate pass on the medical examinations, an appointment letter is given, and after the appointment letter is given, when he comes to the job, last step is induction into the organization, means welcoming into the organization, introducing the new employee with the colleagues, and then allotment of work, whatever the work is to be allotted to that particular. So this is the process of selection. It is a 9-step process: welcoming and primary meeting, receiving and screening of application, taking necessary tests, 4 types of tests: IQ test, aptitude test, trade test, and psychological test. Personal interviews, checking reference, preliminary selection, that is shortlisting, medical examination, appointment letter, and induction into the organization. This one is important point, taking necessary test. So these are the 9 steps of process of selection. Okay. So in today's video we have studied about the selection, what it actually means, and what is the process of selection. Okay. If you have any doubt in this, please fill down the comment section. Till then, stay home, stay safe, happy learning.